The dispute between the mainstream media and the White House, it is heating up, to say the least. I want you to hear this. This is White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders trying to defend herself there at Thursday's briefing. She's under attack. Watch.
I think it would be a good thing if you were to say right here at this briefing that the press, the people who are gathered in this room right now, doing their jobs every day, asking questions of officials like the ones you brought forward earlier, are not the enemy of the people. I think we deserve that.
It's ironic, Jim, that not only you and the media attack the president for his rhetoric when they frequently lower the level of conversation in this country. Repeatedly, the media resorts to personal attacks without any content other than to incite anger. The media has attacked me personally on a number of occasions, including your own network, said I should be harassed as a life sentence, that I should be choked. ICE officials are not welcomed in their place of worship, and personal information is shared on the internet. When I was hosted by the Correspondents Association, of which almost all of you are members of, you brought a comedian up to attack my appearance and call me a traitor to my own gender. In fact, as I know, as far as I know, I'm the first press secretary in the history of the United States that's required Secret Service protection.
Yeah. It's too bad. She's just trying to do her job. And, I've defended Acosta as well because he's come under fire when he's out in the field. He's trying to do his job. For some reason, we seem to be losing as a country an appreciation for diversity and intellectual thought. And it seems as though it's worse than ever right now. And that may be because, as you heard from Daniel Hoffman, the Russians want nothing but that. Here to discuss how past administrations have dealt with the threat of foreign intelligence operations on our soil, as well as the media itself, we have presidential historian Doug Wead. It's good to see you, Doug.
Hi.
All right, so we'll get to the media in a second, but walk me through sort of the history of sort of intel campaigns that have been run here in the U.S. that are designed, propaganda campaigns, whether it be from Russia or other actors. They're designed to basically undermine our faith in our democratic institutions.
Well, we've had it from the very beginning. There were accusations against Thomas Jefferson saying he was a tool of the French and that France was running the country behind the scenes. They said John Adams was a tool of the British.
Well, wait a second. So I hear you, right? Like other presidents have been through it. But I'm actually curious about another matter, because I think what you saw up there between Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Jim Acosta sort of exemplifies the bad state we're in, this divided state we're in as a country. And, we heard earlier from Daniel Hoffman, who used to run the CIA out of the Middle East, spent many years as a covert operator in the CIA and in places like Russia. And, he believes that Russia wants us to be in this divided state and has worked aggressively to put us here. So from a historical perspective, have they done this before, sir?
The Russians?
Yeah.
Yes, they've always been very active. In fairness, we've been active too. We've overthrown governments in Chile, the Philippines, Iran, Iraq, Vietnam. The list goes on and on and on. We influenced the election in Israel. Barack Obama didn't like who the Israelis were going to elect as president. So we're very involved as well.
So everyone does this. Okay. So why is it that the Russians are more successful right now than they've previously been? Is it the use of social media? Is it the ability of to basically manipulate the mainstream media itself?
I think that's part of it, and I think it's because the media wants it to be. The media is, when Donald Trump ran for president, he had 249 newspapers oppose him. He had 19 that favored him. They were absolutely stunned by his victory, and they can't get over it. And so I think that's part of what's inflamed the story and keeps it going. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't, on the one side, say this president's just a complete dunce, and then on the other hand, say he's conspired with the Russians to steal the election and he's covered it up so well nobody can see it. I mean, either he's this great genius who pulls all the strings and makes it work just perfectly beyond their imaginations, or he's the outsider and disruptor, which the American people thought they elected. One or the other.
But importantly, you're also making the point that we've been here before as a country. Why, it feels worse now for some reason. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe it's because we get so many cable stations. I like cable stations, right? I work for one. But, you know, is it because all this news is out there so ready and available, and we see how the sausage is made, including a very contentious press conference there yesterday?
Yeah, that's a very good point you make. And to take you down memory road, the media didn't like John Quincy Adams, so they called it the corrupt bargain because they didn't like the way he won in the House. So they brutalized his family. His son committed suicide. They couldn't get Old Hickory. That's why they called him Old Hickory, Andrew Jackson. So they went after his wife, who read the newspapers, had a stroke and died. They went after Sims Harrison, who died and left 6 children. They went after Andrew Johnson, who was impeached. He had a son who worked in the White House with him. He made the mistake of consorting with prostitutes. The newspapers brutalized him. He took his own life. They went after FDR's son, Jimmy. They went after his daughter, Anna, who, like Ivanka, worked in the White House for her father. And she had a husband who was a journalist who jumped out of a New York skyscraper to his death. It's always been very, very brutal. At times, they're like a pack of dogs, and that doesn't help the Trumps any to know it, but at least now they're going through this, and their father is different. He's fighting back.
Doug, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you. Interesting perspective.